Let me share with you some of the topics we were discussing today with a group of parents with children with autism who has just joined Lighting the Path. And so one of their concerns were, how can they do to relax for a minute without the child getting into trouble? Or sometimes we are working from home. So I understand there are moments in day where as mom or dads, we are focused on other things and we need our child to stay close to us without getting into trouble or engaging in activities that could be dangerous for them or for anyone else. That's why I want to introduce you to key concepts that you will hear me repeat in every video and that I will explain in more depth in our course for parents of children with autism that is called Lighting the Path. But let me tell you that some of the concepts are anticipation, predictability, action, and consequence. So, for example, imagine that you have an important video call coming up. So you're at home and you need your child to stay in a visible area and engage in safe activities. Well, in this case, it is our responsibility as adults to plan ahead, to anticipate, and prepare our child by clearly communicating what activities they are able to do and allowed to do, and which are the activities that they are not allowed to do. To do this, I strongly suggest printing or drawing, even by hand with simple pictures, the message we want to communicate. For example, images like mom with a computer or dad with a computer, and then John can. And so what he can do, he can play with Play-Doh, or John can play with puzzles. John can play with kinetic sand. John can jump on the trampoline. And as well, printing out the information or the pictograms that we want to show him that he cannot do, he's not allowed to. Then those pictograms will need to have a cross, a red cross on top, something that will show him the difference between what you can do and which you're not allowed to do. And once we have those pictograms, then we will just read them as a story. So we will present them to them, probably on our table, somewhere that it will be, he can come every now and then and have a look again. Or anywhere that he can actually keep an eye on and that you can actually point at him, reminding him, right? So you can explain to him, okay, now mom is going to be on a video call or mom is going to be working. So John can play with puzzles, you can play with kinetic sand, you can jump on the trampoline, but John cannot go downstairs, cannot open the front door. Anticipation is always the key. And it is especially important for nonverbal children who cannot ask what to do and might feel overwhelmed with too many options and no guidance from an adult at that moment. So anticipation creates predictability. And predictability provides safety and certainty. Which are the things that I can do, which are the things that I cannot do. Even in the cases of severe autism, I believe it is essential to teach the relationship between actions and consequences. For example, continuing this scenario that we were just talking about, this John kid, we can explain in a clear and simple words how John's actions can affect mom or dad. So when John runs away or when John runs toward the street, mom gets really upset. Mom gets really afraid that something might happen to John. So John cannot open the front door. When John turns on the bathtub faucet and floods the bathroom, dad has to clean up a big mess. This helps children understand the impact on their actions, just as we as parents are aware on how our emotions, stress versus calmness, organization versus disorganization, influence our children. So one final recommendation: practice these activities multiple times to ensure your child knows what to do with those materials. For example, I wouldn't introduce a new puzzle if I'm going to be on a meeting, because then I know he probably will be struggling trying to identify how the puzzle works or trying to insert the pieces, and that will generate anxiety. It could generate frustration, And we don't want those feelings when we are actually attending to something else. So instead, make sure that the activities that you offer them, they're really common for them and they have played with those activities many times. I hope this information helps you and we will stay in touch. Don't stress, I work with you.